I had no idea what I was expecting, but that really made my day. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lone University. I've gotten many requests for bass player Mark King of the band Level 42 over the last few months. I am not familiar at all with either of them other than knowing Mark is supposedly a very fantastic slap bass player. But I got a request from Mr. Pink, specifically the Reading Concert Hall live version from January of 2001. This track is from their second studio album called The Early Tapes, also known as Strategy. It's the second album they released, but it's the first to be recorded, whatever that means, but this was released in 1982. So without further ado, let's get into it. Level 42, Mr. Pink. Uh-oh. Look at that bass. Whew. Dang. We love that little F sharp harmonic there. That was smooth. It never stops. He had that little break there for a second, but this is just constant. Let's call it 16th notes. It's either a note, a ghost note, if you will, or a hammer-on or a pull-off. It's just like a constant, just locomotive of slap notes. This stuff's really hard to do. I got to see more about this thing he has on his thumb. I don't know if it's just some padding for just normal wear and tear. Maybe lets him do this a little longer without it hurting. Could be a total possible thing. Really great, crisp, hi-fi tone. And for once, I did some research on what bass he's using because I saw the thumbnail of this video and I was like, I have no idea. This is apparently a Status graphite bass, which is really cool with the blue LEDs. I'm not familiar with that company, but if I'm wrong, please let me know. But I at least tried to look this up before I do it. Let's go back and kind of dive in a little more now that I have an idea of what he's playing. Just a barrage of slap and pop. Jeez, man. We're definitely an E, which is the holy grail of slap bass playing keys, right? Man, he is just, that's really tough to do that. You have to think about the up and down, the ebb and flow of slap and pop. There's obviously a down, and you can sometimes do two downs, but he's orchestrating this line in such a way where it's like a perfect balance of group notes between either the pops or the slaps. That's what allows them to kind of have this. I mean, it takes a lot of like understanding. Well, I'm going to be popping here, so my next note, I need to come back down and hit the A or the E strings, or maybe he's slapping even up to the D string. Let's let it go for a bit. I'm going to try to analyze this a bit more, but this is a style of bass playing I don't care for a lot. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And the only reason is because I see a lot of guys who learn to play like that, and then it comes time to play anything with dynamic feel, anything melodic, and they are just kind of out of their element. Not at all a reflection of him. I'm sure this guy can do it all, but I think people see this style of bass playing, and it's still very prevalent today, and they go, wow, I got to learn to do that and just really impress everyone and show off. And in my opinion, the most impressive stuff is the right feel, the right tone, and just serving the song. And part of me wishes I could do that. So there's that too, right? All right. Putting that thumb over. Okay. Tasty. What a great shot of the technique there. That is another crucial element to be able to play any of this slap stuff this way, keeping your wrist close to the strings like that. There's two ways you can sort of slap and pop. You could go down with a slap and then pop like this. But you'll notice if I turn, look how much space is between where I have to get back to. You'll notice the pros who can play this slap stuff like that stay really close to the bass because it's less time you have to cover to get back for this fast flurry of notes. So the correct way is to think about slapping like opening a doorknob, turning it counterclockwise. See how my thumb's kind of going like this and it's all wrist? And I'm only covering that much space. So instead of going, I go, and I open up, and then I just turn my wrist to go back down. And that's how you get the power. And you'll watch here, let me go back to this little part, and you can kind of see inside his hand how small the movements are. It's about efficiency. See, his wrist is just glued there, more or less. Ooh, that little chromatic third. You can see right there, look how much recoil he gets. What a perfect frame to freeze on. It's just like I just showed you. He's opening it up wider if you want more power in the slap. If you feel like your slap notes just aren't powerful enough, they're not cutting through, don't think of it as hitting harder. Think of it as hitting faster, whipping the thumb. Now, if I scrobble in these little half seconds that you guys alerted me to that this was a thing on YouTube, I can go frame by frame. Look, he's just turning the wrist there and then opening it back up. He's doing a little pulling away for the pops, which is partially necessary. But you see right here, perfect. He popped way out here. Now he's resetting that wrist to flick that thumb down for more. Notice he's not slamming his thumb down. He's putting the wrist down first and then popping. Really opening up there too. So this is really cool for me to see someone this good at this, and kind of how they do it. A lot of little diddles and doubles here. Holy shit. That's so clean. We haven't even gotten to a song yet. Is that a whistle? Wow. This is really cool. It's infectious. I feel kind of bad saying what I said earlier. I guess I'm just sensitive to a lot of these kids that can just play a lot of slap and that's really it. I guess the point is that if you can be musical with it, then I think it's a lot more useful. I think the thing I was saying is people learn this stuff just for like exhibitionist play. Like, look, I can do this really crazy slap stuff, but I'm not applying it musically. And maybe if you're a solo bass player, sure, I could see the application there. But what I'm seeing here is that he's taking this crazy good slap stuff, and actually the way it fits into that song musically, I'm really taken aback by. It somehow gives it this just like sprinting, really subdivided, kind of like the feel of anime music. Think about it, video game music. It's got that there's something in the background always going. It's got this like, it almost makes you anxious, you know? It's just so driving. That's the feel I'm getting from that. Not that this sounds like anime music, but just the feel of that crazy subdivision really brings that piece to a whole new level. And of course, I'm a huge fan of funk, jazz. I'm not super familiar about Level 42 stylistically. Let's go back and see that entrance a little earlier. Here we go. Dang. Whoa. I'm so glad he went to fingerstyle. Just, okay, yeah, this guy is badass, can do it all. He was digging in. It was really interesting. The way he's digging in so hard almost recreated that same intensity with the slap tone. You don't see that a lot. A lot of songs where people will slap and go between both and fingerstyle, you get this really loud, dynamic transient with the slap part, and then it goes back to fingerstyle and it's just lost. I really appreciate that he matched the intensity of those slap parts with that really digging in fingerstyle. I mean, it lends itself to this piece, right? Which is the whole point of what I was saying about being able to do something musically. Does it fit with the piece? Does it fit with the slap part before it? Yes. so hot and crispy. Woo-hoo. Still here at E. Up to C. B flat. What the hell, man? Hey, this is a lot. This is intense. I'm truly, like, really, I don't know how I missed out on this band. It's like Tower of Power meets like Gotcharic Spin. I don't know. I was thinking about, that's a Japanese band I reacted to a couple months ago. It's just like really subdivided, really crazy over the top. This has that more American feel, of course. Very Tower of Power-ish. I'm a huge fan of that. I should do them on the channel. I've been thinking about that a while. Let me say one thing. I really like how his subdivided slap parts, they are so in unison with the tonality of the drums. I guess what I mean is, as he starts doing those slap lines with the drum beat when the full band comes in, I honestly can't tell what percussive sound might be coming from whom. It might be bass. It's probably bass. But the drums, if he did a double snare or like sort of rim shot kind of thing, it would almost sound super homogeneous. It almost makes the bass part sound less complicated, like I'm just hearing the actual notes. But the flurry of percussive stuff is just super blended with the drums. And it could be a mixing, a tonal thing, of course, but I like what that adds to the composition. It's like they kind of become one just unit of crazy syncopation and percussion. Really interesting. Like there's very little separation. Back to fingerstyle. Woo. Man. Those little runs he's doing there, he's really digging in, you know. Not some lighter jazz touch, he's going. Really getting that tone, and that's I guess what's what I would do if I had to just kind of match a slap predominantly heavy or a slap dominant part, and I'm going to go to fingerstyle for a bit. I would really dig in like that. This is kind of like the Geddy Lee thing, right? You're just really going, not this. You're going, you're really getting that recoil, letting the string kind of hit that metal on these last few frets here. Just reacting with all the metallic parts of the bass, just really digging in to get that tone. Really cool. It's almost too trebly, but it fits, right? Good grief, man. Mad respect, man. Exactly what I mean there. Look how busy the drum part is. When I saw the drummer playing, he looked busier than it sounded. Again, it's like all the nuances of both the drums and this bass tone, the way it's EQ'd, they're just very inseparable. Partially because they're so in the pocket together. You don't hear like a flam. It's just like perfectly quantized by humans. There's no computers here. It's amazing. Dang, man. Oh yeah, he's busy. All these musicians are bringing the house down. Golly. Just look at the recoil he's getting with that thumb. I mean, look how far his thumb's going out. And real quick, I guess I haven't really thought about it since it started. I'm just really entranced by the music. But I guess he has some sort of thing around his thumb. Just an endurance thing. I don't know. It's like why guitar players put tape around their fingers. Drummers do it too. It's probably a bit of that because he's not playing any light slap bass here. This is really dependent on that thumb joint there for the recoil. He's hitting it very hard, as I pointed out. It's probably just to kind of mitigate some of the wear and tear and pain that might happen. Although I would assume he's probably got a nasty strong callus here. You know, I do too, and I slap not a lot, but playing around enough to where I remember when I first started learning slap, it was real sore right here for a real long time. So he might even need extra protection in the sense to just really get him through these long shows playing at this pace, this long, and that slap heavy. Horn part is so in the pocket. Woo-hoo. What a piece. Wow. I had no idea what I was expecting, but that really made my day. I thought for a second, the longer it went on, it might have been like a solo slap bass piece. That's something people would recommend for a channel like this, a song called Mr. Pink, and it's just nothing but bass the whole time. Those types of things exist. But when the band came in, it contextualized that bass part so much. And I thought, surely he's not going to play like that over a song. I didn't know if he was going to sing. I'm not sure. Is this like his solo project in the sense that he's the band leader, the bass player? I read that he's the singer, so it must be kind of like he's the ringleader of the whole thing. But nonetheless, I was unsure if that crazy level of slap was going to fit into a song musically. And then when the band came in, it's so interesting to me how something that busy sounded like it fit with the rest of the band. How the drums and the bass were so homogenous. You know, no matter how busy the drummer got, it almost sounded like it was just part of the bass track and vice versa. And then the horns, the guitars, the keys just painted this other picture around it. A really fun, like, Tower of Power on steroids kind of thing. I'm a fan. I would love to hear a song where he's singing, because I've read a lot that it's been impressive that he can sing and play like that. So I would love to see a track like that. Please let me know what those are, and I can certainly cover them. Really cool. I can see why this guy is praised as just such a legend in the slap bass world. Really cool, but the point I want to leave you with is that he applied all of it very musically. Despite being really over the top, it was done very well musically, and I think that's the takeaway here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribed, like the video, comment, and let me know what you thought, and we will see you next time. Love you all. Cheers.